From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. Right now you're taking a live look at Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils. You're not seeing that much out there for this morning, not much significant anyway, as temperatures for this morning are mainly above freezing in the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys, above freezing in the lower Columbia Basin. The same thing with the Blue Foothills, but it might be a bit of a frosty start this morning in the Blues or in the Cascades. Temperatures there in the 20s and 30s. Okay, we do have a storm system that's approaching from our south and from our west. It's going to bring snow chances, likely snow chances to the mountains for today. Lower elevations are going to be much drier. Here's your umbrella cast for today for the Tri-Cities. Low wind shower chances mainly from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., but otherwise should be, like I said, a mostly dry day for lower elevations, not just for today, but really for the rest of this week. We'll keep it pretty mild for the next 7 days. But again, mountain snow likely today and tonight, especially up in the Cascades. I'll tell you how much we're expecting coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, an update on the WSP trooper involved in a fatal crash and is suspected of DUI, why a judge chose to release her without bail, and why the other attorney is arguing against that.
And we're learning that a Yakima County Superior Court Commissioner was fired last fall for inappropriate behavior. Our Emily Goodell has that report.
Also ahead, President Trump preparing for his first major address to the nation tonight. We have what he plans to talk about and his latest actions. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Tuesday, March 4th, and we want to start you off this morning with one of our top stories we've been following. We brought it to you just yesterday. Now we have a follow-up as we're talking about the Washington State Patrol trooper involved in that deadly crash who's also suspected of DUI.
And the Benton County prosecuting attorney is asking an outside agency to take over the case of Trooper Sarah Clayson. The 35-year-old has been released without bail by the court, and authorities say Clayson was off-duty in her personal car when she crashed into a motorcycle near Horn Rapids Saturday night. The driver later died from their injuries. Prosecuting attorney Eric Eisinger argued for $150,000 in bail, saying she has the resources to be a flight risk. However, the judge allowed her release due to her ties to the community and having no prior criminal history. But there are conditions with her release.
Yeah, she is not allowed to travel outside of Benton or Franklin counties and can only drive with an alcohol smart start device in her car. Eisinger also informing the court that he is recusing himself and his office from the case because of the connection between WSP and his jurisdiction. Now, one of the main arguments brought up in yesterday's court hearing, Clayson's attorney says there just isn't enough evidence to show that she was under the influence during the crash.
The odor that the smell may have been alcohol doesn't indicate that she was under the influence of alcohol at the time of the incident. So based upon that, we're asking the court to find there's not probable cause.
Now, a press conference with Richland Police was held just last night. They're saying that toxicology reports won't be back for several weeks, and an autopsy for the motorcyclist, 20-year-old Joser Sanchez, will be done today, and Clausen's next court appearance is set for March 12th.
Now, Yakima County Superior Court Commissioner Robert Porter was appointed to the position in 2022 and served up until last fall. Our Emily Goodell has learned that Porter was actually fired from the position for inappropriate behavior.
Court commissioners are attorneys who are typically appointed by a judge in order to ease their caseload. However, in this case, it appears that Porter was terminated when his presence started to make things more difficult. According to a termination letter from court officials, they started hearing concerns about Porter's inappropriate behavior in early 2024, prompting them over the summer to put Porter on a 4-month performance improvement plan that the letter says he failed to comply with. Instead, they say Porter continued to make court clerks very uncomfortable and put them in an awkward position by asking them for legal advice they're not allowed to give, both in the office and from the bench on record, prompting at least 3 employees to tell their supervisor they didn't feel comfortable clerking for him. Court officials also taking issue with Porter during family court telling 2 people who had a domestic violence restraining order in place to go to the back of the courtroom together to work out a parenting plan, something he insisted on despite the woman's objections. Another issue brought up in the letter, Porter's grossly inappropriate tendency to make jokes in court, like saying an adopted child's father who recently completed a prison sentence had been released from the Gray Bar Motel. Court officials saying they had to terminate Porter's employment because, quote, belittling litigants, injecting inappropriate humor and witty quips, and discussing matters not relevant to the proceedings do not reflect the requirements of the position as judicial officer. In a statement to Apple Valley News Now, Yakima County Superior Court Director Jessica Humphreys said, quote, thank you for contacting me. The court has no comment on the matter. To replace Porter, Yakima County Superior Court judges appointed local attorney Brooke Wright to serve as court commissioner back in December. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
5:05, thank you, Emily. Well, we're hearing dangerous driving is on the rise across Washington since the COVID-19 pandemic, and now we're learning that street racing is a big factor in that. Kennewick Police Department now asking for the community's help when it comes to cracking down on illegal racing. KPD officers can only be in so many places at one time, of course, and responding to a number of incidents across the city. We're hearing from Officer Sebastian Castilleja. He's with the department's traffic unit. He says 2 of the biggest hot spots for street racing are Clearwater Avenue and the Bob Olson Parkway. He says the department relies on community reports to pinpoint problem areas.
One of the things that the community members can help us do is obviously it needs to be reported so that we know where it's occurring and we can dedicate some resources to that specific area to investigate.
Now, the officer says if you see anyone street racing, try to get a license plate number. That is information is key for tracking down the offenders and the street racers. And street racing is also illegal in Washington. So if caught, drivers could face steep fines, have their vehicles impounded, and even spend some time in jail. So if you see illegal street racing, you are asked to report it immediately to whatever area you're at.
The Kraken Game of the Week, sponsored by Yakima Federal.
All right, the Kraken snapped out of their scoring slump in a big way Saturday night at Climate Pledge, taking down the Canucks with a dominant offensive performance.
And Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen breaks down this week's Game of the Week.
Right wing Andre Burakovsky got Seattle on the board early, scoring at just 5:47 in the first. After Vancouver briefly took the lead, Oliver Bjorkstrand tied it back up early in the second. Vancouver answered again, but Matty Berniers and Eli Tolvanen responded with back-to-back goals, giving the Kraken a lead they never gave up. Tolvanen's clutch goal came in at just a minute before Berniers tied the game at 3, swinging the momentum firmly in Seattle's favor. Brandon Montour padded the cushion in the third, and Tolvanen closed the game by scoring again in the final minutes. Montour had this to say about how practice played a part in Saturday night's successful win.
Desperate team over there that obviously took it to us all game. A couple good weeks or a couple good days of practice. Change it up a bit, more compete, effort level, pace. Tonight was another one that, a rival, I could say, just be so close. Team that's closer in the standings. Important game for them, important game for us to kind of get back to it. So I liked our effort tonight.
Other notable highlights of the night include Shane Wright chipping in with 2 assists. Vince Dunn recorded 2 assists, hitting the 200 assist milestone for his career, while Joey Decord stood tall in net with 28 saves. The Kraken took down the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday night, 6-3. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
And the Kraken are back at home tonight to face the Minnesota Wild on MeTV. That's channel 42.2. And coming up on Good Morning Northwest, the president is set to hold his first major address to the nation tonight, and this comes after he pauses military aid to Ukraine. We have the details coming up in your national news.
And at 5:09, giving you that live look outside this morning, courtesy of our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. We're going to check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert. He'll have your first alert forecast coming up after the break.
The 2025 Walla Walla Fair and Frontier Days is hotter than ever. Win tickets to Three Doors Down, the Demo Derby, and the PRCA Rodeo before you can buy them. Just click on contests at applevalleynewsnow.com to enter. See you at the fair.
Do you like this one? I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
Wow, is this going to be ready in time for the baby?
Absolutely. From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $500 off your tub or shower update.
What are you up to, Alice?
Well, the nice mechanic asked me to check the pulleys.
Wow, I just realized you can see things we can't. I've always wondered what's in those small windows.
It's marketing.
So that's where they hide out.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including bowling, a ropes course, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
What does dino casting call mean?
That seems bad.
I'll get my resume ready.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some, gimme Some Bagels.
It is Operation Best Friend every Wednesday as we feature lovable pets from area shelters all looking for their forever homes. Operation Best Friend from Christine Connolly, As You Wish Real Estate Services, and the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
No exit wound. He's about to code.
Prosser Memorial Health reminds you, watch Grey's Anatomy Thursdays. Prosser Memorial Health, this is how we care.
911 is back with a case that hits home.
He's a damn serial killer, and it looks like he took Maddie with him.
We're gonna find her. The 911 two-part return begins Thursday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Kraken, Wild. Pre-game at 6:30, Tuesday on MeTV. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a temperature tour for this morning. And we start off in Kittitas County, where these temperatures are mostly above freezing, even though at Snoqualmie Pass we're right at freezing. But 36 in Ellensburg, we're mostly above freezing. In the Yakima Valley, we're spanning from 35 to 39. In the lower Columbia Basin, a mixture of 30s and 40s, 39 for Benton City, 44 in the Tri-Cities, 38 for Mesa. But again, we're all above freezing. Also, all of us above freezing in the Blue Foothills with 30s and 40s, but some of us either at or below freezing in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Okay, here's your day planner for today for lower elevations. Definitely not going to be as sunny as yesterday. It will be a little bit cooler as well, with temperatures parking in the mid-50s for the most part. Upper 40s to mid-50s, maybe even some mid-40s on the map in the Kittitas Valley. Low-end shower chances for low elevations for today, but mountain rain and snow is looking pretty likely. Also, the wind's going to be gusting out of the south and west between 20 to 35 miles per hour. Then for tonight, still some pretty widespread breezes gusting out of the south and west between 20 to 35 miles per hour. We should be pretty dry for lower elevations, maybe some leftover snow showers up in the mountains. I'll time that out and I'll tell you how much snow we're anticipating, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. It is 5:13 now in your national headlines. It's a big story this morning. A major escalation in the diplomatic tensions between the U.S. and Ukraine are intensifying. President Trump now suspending military aid. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the details.
This morning, the rift between the Trump administration and Ukraine deepening as President Trump orders a pause in military aid. Most weapon shipments approved by former President Biden have already been delivered to Ukraine, meaning Trump's order will affect mostly armored vehicles and potential future weapon shipments.
Ukraine is already outnumbered vastly, and likely it'll push Russia further away from the negotiation table as they'll see this as a win and things going in their direction. So it could actually extend this war substantially.
Trump's move follows Friday's confrontation in the Oval Office.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
Ukrainian President Zelensky told to leave the White House, a mineral deal canceled. Vice President J.D. Vance last night said the administration is still open to signing that mineral deal, which Vance says will help secure Ukraine.
If you want to actually ensure that Vladimir Putin does not invade Ukraine again, the very best security guarantee is to give Americans economic upside in the future of Ukraine.
But Zelensky has said economic interests are not enough of a security guarantee for his country, with Russia on the offensive. Zelensky saying yesterday an agreement to end the war is still very, very far away.
He better not be right about that. That's all I'm saying.
Responding to criticism that he's playing into Vladimir Putin's hands, Trump says his goal is to get Putin to the negotiating table to talk peace.
I think it takes two to tango, and you're going to have to make a deal with Russia, and you're going to have to make a deal with Ukraine. Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to make a deal, and if somebody doesn't want to make a deal, I think that person won't be around very long. That person will not be listened to very long.
So when asked what would be needed from Zelensky to restart negotiations, well, Trump said Zelensky needs to be more appreciative of the U.S. But we have some new information just coming into the newsroom moments ago. The Kremlin now reacting to the suspension of the military aid, a spokesperson saying it could push Kiev towards the peace process, although the spokesperson declined to say whether Russia itself is ready for a ceasefire. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up next, we're checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, giving you that live look outside this morning from our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. A look over the Columbia River on this Tuesday morning. And we'll be right back with your full forecast.
Discover Walla Walla Wine, where exceptional terroir meets unforgettable experiences. Delight in renowned varietals amidst breathtaking vineyards. Join us in crafting memorable moments. Connect with us at wallawallawine.com.
Celebrate Bi-Mart's 70th anniversary during our open house with our latest savings book. Storeware's 23-gallon storage totes are $8.99. Arm & Hammer liquid detergent is $2 off. Save $1 on Pedigree bag dry dog food. Stock up on seed packets, they're 50% off. And there's great savings on pantry essentials. During our open house, members and non-members can stop in and save now through March 10th at Bi-Mart, saving the Northwest more since 1955.
2025 is your year to start a new business, and the City of Pasco is here to help. We have newly updated commercial kitchen space and vendor windows available at the Pasco Specialty Kitchen downtown. Mobile food vendors, we've made it faster and easier than ever to get permits and connect with customers, thanks to new citywide regulations for food trucks and hand carts. Visit pasco-wa.gov for more information and join the thriving Pasco community. Naturally transformative.
If your bath has seen a lot of life, nobody gives it new life like Bath Fitter. Whatever shape your bath is in, Bath Fitter will transform it with an amazing number of styles and watertight walls that are grout-free and easy to clean. With 40 years of experience, Bath Fitter knows what people want. An affordable remodel that isn't just beautiful, it's guaranteed for life. When it's time to give your bath new life, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
Discover Walla Walla Wine, where exceptional terroir meets unforgettable experiences. Delight in renowned varietals amidst breathtaking vineyards. Join us in crafting memorable moments. Connect with us at wallawallawine.com.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee Weather, Apple Valley News Now, on your side. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. A lot of rain and snow chances to talk about over the next 48 hours, so let's go ahead and get right into it. By 10 this morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock this morning, that's when slight rain and snow chances begin in the Cascades. Then by lunchtime, rain and snow chances become likely in the Cascades, while slight rain chances start in the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, the Blue Foothills, and the Blue Mountains. By 2 p.m., slight chances also spread down into the lower Columbia Basin. That would be slight rain chances, and slight rain and snow chances begin in the Blue Mountains as well. Then for tonight, by 6 p.m., rain and snow chances go down considerably in the Cascades, while it'll dry out in the Yakima Valley and lower Columbia Basin. By 8 p.m., we'll finally dry out in the Kittitas Valley and Blue Foothills as well. Then from 10 p.m. tonight to 1 in the morning on Wednesday, we'll be left over with small snow chances in the Cascades and Blues. Then for tomorrow, from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., that's when we'll briefly dry out in the Blues, but from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., that's when slight snow chances begin again for the Blues, while small rain chances come back to the Blue Foothills. And we'll kind of have those persistent low-end rain and snow chances on the map up until 10 p.m. on Wednesday to 1 in the morning on Thursday. That's when we'll finally dry out in the Cascades, while small rain chances continue in the Blue Foothills and slight snow chances continue in the Blues. All that to say, we're not going to have that much snowfall over the next 48 hours, probably upwards of an inch for Cascade passes, probably upwards of the same amount for Blue Mountain passes. This is going to be a pretty dry forecast over the next 7 days. It does look like overall precip chances could trend a little bit higher by the beginning of next week, but overall a pretty calm forecast, pretty mild forecast too. We'll keep it fairly seasonal through Friday, and then these values hopping up to these highs hopping up to values about 5-ish degrees above average for Saturday through Monday. Here's the 7-day forecast in the Tri-Cities. Small rain chances today, dry Wednesday through Sunday with small shower chances possibly returning by next Monday. In Yakima, a slight chance of a shower today, dry and mild after that with winds picking up early next week. In Ellensburg, rain possible today, but a pretty dry forecast afterwards with winds becoming a factor again on Thursday and Friday. In Hermiston, a shower or two possible today, dry Wednesday through Sunday with a few more showers possible early next week. And then in Walla Walla, small rain chances overall for today, then winds and temperatures picking up later this week and into the weekend. Now you're taking a live look at the Columbia River. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
It's not easy being Mariano Morales' horse. He needs to ride the clients all the time. He does take care of them. He gets the insurance company to pay for medical bills, car repairs, even money for pain and suffering. Looks like it's going to be another busy day. Better get warmed up. After all, I am his best friend.
Hurt in a car wreck? Give me a call.
Big or small, we work them all.
I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Ready to make beautiful music? It's time for the trade-up event at Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos. Trade in your current piano and upgrade to the instrument of your dreams. Whether it's a breathtaking grand or a state-of-the-art digital model, we'll help freshen up your music. With expert guidance and flexible financing, your dream piano is closer than you think. Start your musical journey today at DickersonsTriCityPianos.com and come visit our store in Richland.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Listen up. You've got 4 days and 4 days only to save like never before. During the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. No limit. You'll also find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, dining tables and chairs, bedrooms, and much, much more. Plus, get 60 months, no interest, and no down payment. But don't wait. The 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
Starting a business is hard. You have to stay connected at all times.
As we've been growing the studio, Spectrum's been there every step of the way.
I'm always able to make the phone call that I need. I'm able to shoot that text message or that email. Every vital piece of equipment that we have here uses Spectrum.
Fast, reliable internet, starting at $40 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep your business connected.
The 3 Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today in entertainment news, we're learning that an Oscar winner has set a brand new record.
And we're also looking at an auction house that's setting some prices on some pretty special movie memorabilia.
There's something for fans of Star Wars and even Grease. David Daniel has all the details in today's Hollywood Minute.
What do you think? It's unusual, even for you.
The Brutalist, winner of 3 Academy Awards, runs more than 3.5 hours. So maybe it should be no surprise its star, Adrien Brody, gave a long Oscar speech. In fact, Brody's acceptance of his Best Actor trophy lasted 5 minutes 40 seconds. According to Guinness World Records, the longest Oscar speech ever. You can't buy an Oscar, but other pieces of Hollywood history are up for sale. Prop Store's latest entertainment auction includes the Medal of Yavin, which Princess Leia gave to Luke Skywalker at the end of Star Wars. It's expected to fetch up to $600,000. And Chewbacca's bowcaster from the original Star Wars trilogy could go for up to $500,000.
Hi, Sandy.
Oh, hi.
If Grease is more your style, Danny Zuko's T-Bird's leather jacket is on the block, estimated to bring in up to $200,000. And Sandy Olsen's dress from that Frosty Palace scene could bring in up to $60,000. The auction runs March 26th through the 28th. Details at PropStoreAuction.com. Hitting the malt shop in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A piece of Hollywood history. How cool would it be to have something like that?
Yeah. And I saw people getting mad about Adrien Brody's speech at the Oscars online, but I don't think he was being rude.
Let him own his moment.
Yeah, he was kind of like, hey, I've been through this before. Like, give me a few more minutes.
I got people to thank.
Exactly.
I thought he was very gracious.
Yeah,
me
too.
And speaking of the Oscars, you have your Chalamet yellow on today.
There we go.
I do.
I mean, if Ariana gets her own pink, Chalamet gets his own yellow.
It's now the Josh yellow, right?
Yeah. I didn't plan this, but I didn't I'm sort of leaning into it now is what I'm trying to say.
Perfect, we love it. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A fire in Milton Freewater started on Friday. It's now sparked up again. We're learning more about it this morning and what firefighters had to deal with, saying there were some multiple challenges when they got to the scene.
Our Monique Ledesma has that story coming up in our next half hour, but first we're going to check out your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple is expected to launch a new device from its Air lineup this week. CEO Tim Cook posted a short video teasing there's something in the air. Tech experts say it's a new MacBook Air with the company's latest A4 chip. Online tech reports say other announcements may include a new iPad or iPhone Air. Next, a new look for YouTube TV. According to the information, the updated design will have a Netflix feel to it. Changes will reportedly include displaying paid content from a number of streaming services on its homepage. The new look is expected to launch in the next few months. Finally, a 3D printing pen that's made for kids. The 3 Doodler Candy uses capsules filled with a sugar substitute to print sweet treats. The 3D Candy Creator runs on a 45-minute rechargeable battery. It will be available for anyone with a sweet tooth later this year. Not just kids. Those are your Tech Bites.
When we started Blue Buffalo, we made a promise to our boy Blue that we would create the best pet food we possibly could, made with the finest natural ingredients and none of the things you find in many other pet foods. We call it the True Blue Promise, and it's our commitment to feed your pet just like we would feed Blue. It's what makes Blue Buffalo unlike other pet food companies, which have many different brands with different standards. We have one standard, the one inspired by our boy Blue for the well-being of your dog or cat. Because like you, we love them like family too.
Mike had a heart attack a year ago, but he's still living in the red with a very high risk of another attack. With his risk factors, his recommended LDL-C level should be below 55. Are you at risk? Learn how to get a free LDL-C test at attackheartdisease.com.
Swiffer Duster traps 4 times more dust. 4 clean, even Mom approves of.
That reach.
Making hard to reach
so easy.
Swiffer. Wow. The mother of all cleans. Love it or your money back.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us and joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh Chalamet Yellow, how is that forecast looking? Or how's that 3-degree guarantee looking?
As going from yellow to green, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there is some green on the board, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers to back that up. Our 3-degree guarantee, sponsored by our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Yesterday, I went with a forecast high of 60 in Pasco Tri-Cities, and it verified at 61. So the jackpot went up to $75. So for today, a little bit cooler, going with forecast high 55 in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if it verifies between 52 to 58, the jackpot's going to go up to $100. If that doesn't happen, all $75 could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleynewsnow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that was just on your screen. Now what's on your screen is a live look at Pasco. This view coming courtesy of the Dust Devils. Not seeing that much out there for this morning. Temperatures are in the 30s in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We're in the 30s and 40s in the lower Columbia Basin, and 30s and 40s in the Blue Foothills. Now you might have to break out the ice scraper. It might be a little bit frosty this morning in the Blues or in the Cascades. And again, we're tracking that storm system that is off towards our south and west. Eventually, this will bring snow chances, likely snow chances to the Cascades and also to the Blues, but much drier for lower elevations for today. Here's your umbrella cast for today for the Tri-Cities. The best chances of you needing an umbrella is going to be from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., but still pretty low in chances. The bottom line for the forecast, mountain snow likely today and tonight, especially up in the Cascades, but lower elevations should stay mostly dry for today. Not just for today though, really all throughout this week, pretty mild over the next 7 days on top of that. But I'll take you on that zone by zone tour of today's forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. It is 5:31, and we do start your half hour of news with some new information this morning. A fire in Milton Freewater started Friday and continued to spark yesterday. It's at a woodworking shop, and the building is now completely demolished because of the damages from the fire. But our Monique Ledesma says when crews arrived at the scene, firefighters were faced with a number of challenges.
Milton Freewater Rural Fire and EMS received multiple calls for help around 11 p.m. February 28th. Riley Miller, Operations Chief at Milton Freewater Rural Fire and EMS, says when crews arrived, smoke and flames were coming from the building. The fire was intense and firefighters had to act quickly.
We immediately decided that we would be defensive, which just means that we weren't going to be sending anybody inside the building just because of the advanced nature of the fire and how much flames and heat that there were. We were able to confirm with the neighbors that nobody lived inside of the building, and so that it was unoccupied at the time, so we weren't concerned that there was anybody inside the building. So we decided immediately we would be fighting the fire from the exterior and just trying to protect the surrounding structures.
These big pieces of metals that are around the fire scene was once what the building was made out of. The shop being made out of a type of metal made it complicated for firefighters to put out the flames.
Made it very difficult for us to get in to where the wood is for us to put all of the fire out. So we're having to spend a lot more time and resources to try to keep the fire contained.
Miller says it being a woodworking shop just added fuel to the flames.
There was a lot of varnish, paint, a lot of wood inside it because of the type of work that they do, building cabinets and furniture and wood slabs and things like that. So because there was such a heavy fuel load inside the building, it made it more unsafe for us to get really close, and it made it a lot harder for us to put the fire out.
Miller says in times like these, they depend on their volunteers to ensure the firefighters out on the scene don't get burned out.
We have a really great volunteer pool, so we're able to rotate through who's going out and checking on it and really make sure that we're able to use our resources sparingly to make sure that we're doing a good job of keeping an eye on it, but not wearing any one person out too much.
Miller says fire crews will try and get inside what's left of the building, trying to put out the last of the hot spots. Reporting in Milton Freewater, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
And luckily, no one was hurt in that fire, but Miller says the state fire marshal is continuing to look into just how that fire started. And speaking of firefighters, if you are looking to join the Milton Free Water Rural Fire and EMS team, now is your chance to get involved. The team is looking for volunteers. Officials say they depend on their volunteers with everything from dealing with big fire situations or ones maybe at multiple locations. Volunteer work includes anything from driving a truck to being a part of the medical or firefighting line of wildfires.
It's really nice to be able to involve people that are in the community. It helps us with our response. Many of our paid staff are not from the area originally, so our volunteers help us find remote locations. They oftentimes know people's history. They know layouts of buildings and homes, so we rely really heavily on our local volunteers to help support our operations.
So if that sounds like something you'd like to do, to apply, there are some legal requirements that include passing a background check, having a driver's license, that is a must, and you also must be over the age of 18. In-house training can also be provided if needed.
Now, Yakima County is leading the charge on complying with Washington Initiative 2066. It passed last fall and prohibits state and local governments from restricting natural gas service in homes and buildings. Commissioner Amanda McKinney says since the state hasn't taken any action on changing standards to fit the new law, Yakima County will. She says public service staff worked with the Building Industry Association of Washington to update the county's building permit process, making it so that applicants won't be penalized for using natural gas.
Everyone has been sending out this resolution and our form for how we're going to not penalize energy choice so that we can have this expand across the state. So Yakima County is really leading the way when the state would not.
McKinney also says this resolution gives residents the ability to choose their energy source so they can pick natural gas without penalties if that's the most affordable option for them. And more out of Yakima, the Greater Yakima Chamber of Commerce is getting a new building after being in the same one for more than 50 years. The chamber sold their old building back in October and bought the former Lynn Paul building off North 3rd Street. Ownership of that building took effect on January 31st, and this will put the chamber in the heart of downtown Yakima. This new spot has about 7,000 square feet of space, so they have more flexibility for meetings, conferences, and other events. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Washington lawmakers pass a bill that looks into how your credit history could impact your insurance coverage. We break down what it means for you in just a few minutes.
And giving you that live look outside this morning at 5:36 over the Columbia River in Richland, courtesy of our Legends Casino and Hotel Cam. Josh will be back with another look at your First Alert forecast after the break.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Real Estate Services. Christine Connolly, Realtor.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic, don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam.
Ugh, and I'm already late.
Got a birthday coming up? Celebrating a big win? Or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub, a community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today. Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
At the
Pacific Clinic, we understand the juggle of parenthood. That's why the PC is your one-stop shop for all your health, sports, and medical needs. Schedule your appointments around your favorite group fitness classes and use our on-site childcare services.
From women's health to care for your little ones, we practice a comprehensive approach to keep your family feeling great.
With our quick and convenient scheduling, we'll get you in within the same week, often the next day. Call us today at 509-783-5465.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Mayday! Our boat is going under.
Copy that. We're on our way.
What is that noise?
Olympic gymnast Jordan Childs. She opens up about the emotional and verbal abuse she suffered from a former coach that led her to suicidal thoughts, and about her Olympic experience. The morning TV first this morning on Good Morning America.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County. These highs today going to be in the 40s and 50s. Windy up in the Cascades. Those winds gusting out of the south and west upwards of 35 miles per hour. And also rain and snow going to be likely up in the Cascades, not as much in the valleys, including in the Yakima Valley. These winds gusting also out of the south and west, but upwards of 20 miles per hour. These highs going to end up in the low to mid 50s. Will also be in the low to mid 50s in the lower Columbia Basin. These winds also gusting out of the south and west upwards of 25 miles per hour. Low and shower chances there. Slightly better shower chances in the Blue Foothills. These highs are going to also end up in the mid 50s, but much better rain and snow chances up in the Blue Mountains. These highs will end up in the low to mid 40s. These winds, I think I already mentioned the winds, gusting out of the south and west upwards of 20 miles per hour. Now let's talk about the big picture, the seasonal snowfall deficits and surpluses we've been tracking. Still, unfortunately, we have a seasonal snowfall deficit in the upper Yakima Basin, but thankfully some surpluses in the Natchez, Umatilla, and Walla Walla basins. However, these surpluses are hanging on by their fingernails in the Natchez and Walla Walla basin. So with that in mind, I'll show you how much snowfall we're expecting from this storm system, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 5:41 now, and the Washington Senate has passed a bill to look into how credit history and other factors could impact someone's insurance coverage. Albert James shows us why supporters say the system has to change to prevent unfair practices, while opponents say these changes are unfair themselves.
Senate will now come to order. Senate Bill 5589, the Secretary will read.
Senate Bill 5589 would require the state's Office of the Insurance Commissioner to study how insurers use credit scores and other factors to determine someone's insurance eligibility and how much they'd pay for home and auto coverage. The office would then recommend policy changes to the legislature on alternative ways insurers can set rates. Consumer advocacy groups have found that drivers with clean records pay large differences in auto insurance premiums based on their credit score. Supporters of the bill say insurers relying on credit history and other factors has disparate impacts on consumers, and coverage should be based on driving history or the state of a home.
It should not be based on whether or not you have a college degree or whether or not you work in a blue-collar job as opposed to a white-collar job or your zip code.
The legislation was requested by the Insurance Commissioner's Office. They previously tried to ban insurers from using credit history to determine insurance eligibility and rates, but it was challenged and overturned by a court. Senate Republicans voiced concern about how the previous attempt to ban credit history consideration resulted in higher premiums for some people based on other factors like age.
I know that there are multiple factors, but we've already seen the effects of that, and I still can't support a study when we saw what did happen.
The bill passed 29-20 with one Democrat joining all Republicans in opposition. It now heads to the state house. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
5:43, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, we've got your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning, and giving you that live look outside this morning from our Legends Casino and Hotel Skycam in Richland. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will be back with your full First Alert forecast.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some, gimme Some Bagels.
Spring clean for a cause. With fresh leadership, Tri-County Partners Habitat for Humanity store is ready to make an even bigger impact. Join us and Century 21, Piton Wealth, and PG Long for our Fill a Truck event on March 7th and 8th. Donate furniture, appliances, decor, anything to help furnish a home. And for every donation or purchase, you'll be entered to win a gift basket. Enjoy free fries, fun, and the chance to change lives. Visit the Tri-County Partners Habitat for Humanity store in Richland. Your donation builds homes.
The Y Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
This ain't no disco, and it ain't no lighted dance floor either. This is Legends Casino Hotel's Money Moves. We're giving away $36,000 every Thursday in March. Just use your Legends Rewards card to stack up entries, and you could be moving a guaranteed $12,000 into the pocket of your John Travolta-like leisure suit. On second thought, forget the leisure suit, but go ahead and blast the Bee Gees' You Should Be Dancing on your way to Legends Money Moves in March.
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office on Thursday, March 20th at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
Celebrate Bi-Mart's 70th anniversary during our open house with our latest savings book. Watch for it in your mailbox. During our open house, members and non-members can stop in and save. Bi-Mart, saving the Northwest more since 1955.
Stacy Lee, Cap KVU First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. A lot of rain and snow chances over the next 48 hours, so let's go ahead and get right into it. By 10 this morning, rain and snow showers begin in the Cascades. By lunchtime, rain and snow becomes likely in the Cascades, while showers start in the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, the Blue Foothills, and the Blue Mountains. By 2 p.m., showers also spread down into the lower Columbia Basin, and rain and snow showers begin in the Blue Mountains as well. Then by 6 p.m. for tonight, rain and snow chances go down considerably in the Cascades, while it'll dry out in the Yakima Valley and lower Columbia Basin. By 8 p.m., we finally dry out in the Kittitas Valley and Blue Foothills as well. And then from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., leftover snow showers will still be in the Cascades and in the Blues. Now, by the time we get to the time frame between 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. on Wednesday, we'll briefly dry out in the Blues, but from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., snow showers begin again for the Blues, while small rain showers come back to the Blue Foothills. And we'll kind of hold on to that scene for much of Wednesday afternoon into the evening on Wednesday, but then from 10 p.m. on Wednesday to 1 a.m. on Thursday, we'll be drying out in the Cascades. Leftover showers continue in the Blue Foothills, and leftover snow showers continue in the Blues. All that being said, snowfall totals over the next 48 hours, not that impressive at all, maybe squeaking out an inch in the Cascades, the same thing for the Blues. Overall, rain and snow chances staying fairly limited over the next week, although it does look like they trend back up a little bit by the beginning of next week, but it's too early to make heads or tails of that storm system. High temperatures staying seasonal through Friday, then raising up to values about 5 to 10 degrees above average for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, so some more mild stuff on tap. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Small rain chances today, dry Wednesday through Sunday with small shower chances possibly returning by next Monday. And then in Yakima, slight chance of a shower today, dry and mild after that with winds picking up early next week. In Ellensburg, rain possible today, but a pretty dry forecast afterwards with winds becoming a factor again on Thursday and Friday. In Hermiston, a shower or two possible today, dry Wednesday through Sunday with a few more showers possible by early next week. Then in Walla Walla, small rain chances overall for today, then winds and temperatures picking up later this week and into the weekend.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:49, time for your morning sprint. The top 5 local things you need to know as you head out the door this morning. Sarah Klassen, the WSP trooper who's suspected of DUI in a deadly crash, has been released from jail without bail. A judge allowed this due to her ties to the community and having no prior criminal history. Now, there are conditions with her release. She's not allowed to travel outside of Benton or Franklin counties, and she can only drive with an alcohol smart start device. Her attorney argues that there isn't sufficient evidence to show that she was under the influence during the time of the crash. Benton County prosecuting attorney have asked an outside agency now to take over the case.
The Milton Freewater Rural Fire and EMS team is looking for volunteers, and according to officials, they depend on their volunteers to help with anything from driving the truck to being on wildfire lines. If you would like to apply, there are legal requirements. That includes passing a background check, having a driver's license, and being over the age of 18. Also, in-house training can be provided if needed.
And traffic alert for Kittitas County. Work started just yesterday on the replacement of the I-90 Vantage bridge deck. Crews are replacing the surface of the bridge, and traffic has been reduced to a single lane in each direction. So travelers should prepare for some long delays and a lot of traffic, especially during the warmer months and during events at the Gorge Amphitheater. Now, work will be paused from May 23rd to July 8th, that crucial time of summer travel. The project is scheduled to be fully completed in 2028.
The city of Prosser has designed a plan to eliminate roadway fatalities and injuries, and now the city wants to hear your input on it through an online survey. It's the Safe Streets Safety Action Plan, and the data collected will help develop the plan. The survey will be open until March 31st. Paper copies can be found at City Hall, the Prosser Police Department, and the Prosser Community Center.
And the Seattle Kraken are back in action tonight, taking on the Minnesota Wild. Pre-game starts at 6:30 on Apple Valley News Now's sister station, MeTV. MeTV is on channel 42.2 in Tri-Cities, 35.2 in Yakima, and 14.2 in Walla Walla. MeTV is also on Spectrum Cable Channel 182.
Now, in your national headlines this morning, the White House confirms that President Trump is pausing military aid to Ukraine. Officials say the freeze could last until Kyiv commits to peace talks, and officials also say Trump wants Ukrainian President Zelensky to acknowledge Friday's heated Oval Office dispute, and that Zelensky's response could be in the form of a public apology. According to analysts, Ukraine has enough in stockpiles to sustain its current fighting pace for at least a few weeks, and it also has support from Europe, although the country gets most advanced weapons from the U.S. And coming up tonight, President Trump has his first major address to the nation. Apple Valley News Now and ABC will air the speech live along with the Democratic response. It starts at 6 tonight and will preempt our normal local newscasts at 6 and 6:30.
5:52 in your business headlines this morning. The Department of Education has temporarily removed the applications for income-driven repayment plans on student loans. It's known as the SAVE plan, and it reduces monthly payments and shortens the time that it takes to receive student loan forgiveness. It launched in 2023, but has been on hold since last July because of lawsuits. One expert says the department needs to review the application forms to determine what needs to change following the court's rulings. And did your favorite drink disappear? Starbucks cut 13 drinks from its menu yesterday. That includes several frappuccinos, as well as the iced matcha lemonade, the white hot chocolate, and the Royal English breakfast latte. In a statement from Starbucks, they said most of these aren't big sellers, and they take a lot longer than usual to make. So officials say by getting rid of them, it will help with profits and speed up customer service.
In your health headlines this morning, a top spokesperson for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has resigned. Thomas Corey abruptly quit on Friday, and he was Assistant Secretary of Public Affairs. Reports allege that he quit amid a conflict with HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his Principal Deputy Chief of Staff. Politico reported disagreements included the management of the agency amid the growing measles outbreak in Texas. An HHS spokesperson declined to comment. And Pope Francis suffered 2 episodes of acute respiratory failure yesterday and is now alert and resting. The Vatican says the incidents were caused by a buildup of mucus causing his airways to narrow. He's been in the hospital for 18 days, and Francis has history of respiratory infections. The Vatican saying the Pope is back on a ventilation machine, and the prognosis is too soon to tell, but there should be an update later today.
5:54 in your sports headlines this morning. Senate Democrats blocking a Republican-led bill to ban transgender athletes from women's sports at federally funded schools. This all happened yesterday. This was a procedural vote to advance the bill. 60 votes were needed to move the legislation forward, and it fell nine votes shy. The House passed its own version of the bill in January, but without Senate approval, the legislation is stalled. And Serena Williams has gone from the tennis court to the basketball court. She is now a team owner in the WNBA. She will be a part of the Toronto Tempo, an expansion franchise scheduled to debut in 2026. Her role will include merchandise collaborations and jersey designs. They're going to be the most stylish WNBA team ever. I love it. They will expand to 13 teams this season. The league commissioner says she would like to have 16 teams before the end of the decade.
And trending this morning is the kiss between Halle Berry and Adrien Brody at the 97th Academy Awards from Sunday.
Yes, so they basically recreated the infamous kiss from the Oscars back in 2003. Brody making headlines when he pulled Berry into an impromptu kiss on stage while accepting the Best Actor award for his role in The Piano. Now, well, the red carpet. At the red carpet this year, that's where Berry had her revenge. She kissed him this time, and the pair then laughed and hugged.
Oh, there it is on your screen right there.
See, this part of the award show culture, I could do without. Like a PDA, folks, come on. Well, if you're thinking their partners were mad, nope. I don't know about that. Secretly, maybe they're a little mad. But anyway, Brody's date, Georgina Chapman, was right there laughing alongside them. Definitely not jealous at all.
So Berry says she doesn't hold the 2003 incident against Brody. She actually said she, quote, had to get some payback.
Yeah, Brody, of course, winning his second Best Actor Oscar on Sunday. This time for his role in The Brutalist. Berry, meanwhile, still the only black woman to ever win an Oscar for Best Actress. Look at them locking lips.
I mean, if their partners are okay with it, which allegedly, they are. Well, we don't know. Which I think it seems like it. So.
Yeah, and with him being back in the Oscar spotlight this year, there was a lot of talk about when he did win the last time and that kiss and what that meant, and it kind of shook things up. So I think it was just kind of a play on that. So good for her.
You just got to do it for the skit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, 5:57, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. President Donald Trump set to address the nation tonight. Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, we will have what he's expected to talk about.
Plus, a 4.5 magnitude earthquake was felt in parts of Washington state yesterday, and we have where exactly this happened. It's all in your next hour. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Yeah, we do have some rain and snow chances on the way. Snow looking likely up in the Cascades and Blues, but how much is on the way? I'll have that answer coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.